Welcome to the show.
So I want you to picture this. It is 1:00 a.m. on a Sunday.
Oh, boy. The witching hour.
Right. The dining room is entirely dark. The chairs are flipped upside down on the tables. You know the drill.
Yeah.
You can hear the hum of the refrigerators, the sound of the dish pit being sprayed down for the absolute final time.
The best sound in the world, honestly.
It really is. But your sous chef is just totally exhausted. The grease traps are being emptied. And you are sitting in that cramped little back office.
You're staring at the screen.
Staring at a payroll file that you literally cannot afford to process. But, and here's the crazy paradox, you pull up your phone.
Right.
And the video your marketing agency posted of your new, viral dessert, it has 1 million views on TikTok.
1 million views.
1 million views generated in under 6 hours. Thousands of comments, fire emojis everywhere, heart emojis.
And yet, as you were staring at that payroll file, you were realizing a very cold, very hard truth.
Yeah.
1 million views on a platform owned by a tech company thousands of miles away. Well, that does not deposit cash into your operating account.
It really doesn't.
Vanity metrics do not pay the weekly rent. I mean, the likes do not cover your linen service.
Exactly. So welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are tearing down the multi-billion-dollar illusion of the modern digital dining landscape.
We are getting right into it.
We really are. We are moving from the kitchen to the C-suite today, and we are treating you, the listener, like the insider you are.
Because you need to know this stuff.
Right. If you want to understand the unforgiving realities behind that highly polished, beautifully lit ring light facade of the hospitality industry, you are in the exact place you need to be.
Absolutely.
We are looking at unit economics, capital allocation, and enterprise value.
Yeah.
This deep dive is titled Unfollowed and Unfed, Beyond the Hype, Stars, and Sponsored Posts.
I love that title. And look, it is perhaps the most dangerous era to be an independent operator right now.
Oh, without a doubt.
The industry projects this aura of, invincibility. You see Michelin stars awarded. You see $50,000 sponsored content budgets deposited directly into agency escrow accounts.
It's wild.
Before a single actual paying customer even steps foot inside a hotel lobby or a dining room, it looks like a gold rush.
It looks like everyone is just printing money.
Right. But beneath the surface, the operational structures of these restaurants and bars have literally never been more fragile.
Yeah.
We are dealing with a landscape where the creation of food content is infinitely more lucrative than the actual preparation and service of food.
Which is just so backwards. And it's exactly why we have to dismantle the foundational myths that are actively bankrupting operators who, frankly, simply do not know any better.
They are falling for the trap.
They are. So we're going to take a sledgehammer to 3 core myths holding back hospitality executives today.
Let's hear them.
First, the star trap, weighing the illusion of prestige against the crippling reality of labor costs.
That's a huge one.
Second, the influencer illusion. So the artificial demand of viral campaigns versus actual customer lifetime value.
Which is 0, usually.
We'll get into that. And third, brand prestige versus cash flow.
Yeah.
Basically how the most successful operators are pivoting from aesthetic perfectionism to cold-blooded working capital management.
And for those listening who are trying to make that leap from day-to-day operator to true C-suite executive, building a sustainable capital structure is paramount. You simply cannot scale a hospitality business on viral fumes.
You can't, which is precisely why we partnered with organizations that actually understand this transition.
Yes.
When you are stuck dealing with operational chaos, you need airtight compliance and training so your staff performs flawlessly. That is the benchmark HRB Universal provides for the industry.
Absolutely essential. Yeah.
And when you are looking to restructure, secure sustainable capital, and build equitable growth, the Plate and Pour Collective Equity Partner Program is actively fostering shared success for the next generation of hospitality moguls.
They're doing incredible work.
They really are. We are going to weave their philosophies into our breakdown today because they are the antidote to the chaos we are about to describe.
So let us establish the baseline. We have to look at the cornerstone of how consumers have chosen restaurants and hotels for the last 2 decades.
Right, the text-based review site. I am talking
Yeah.
Yelp, Google Reviews, TripAdvisor.
We are witnessing the complete collapse of digital trust.
Wow, the complete collapse.
I mean it. For years, the behavior was identical across Basically the entire demographic spectrum.
I know I did it.
We all did.
Uh,
You land in a new city, you want to grab dinner, you open your phone, filter the map by 4.5 stars and above, and you trust the algorithm.
You just assume the crowd has done the vetting for you, mitigating your financial risk.
Exactly.
I do it constantly. Or, I mean, at least I used to. You just assume that a 4.8 average over like 2,000 reviews is a mathematical impossibility to fake.
Right. The crowd has to be right.
Yeah.
But the JITA tells a terrifyingly different story. We are currently operating inside what economists are labeling a massive trust deficit.
Okay, unpack that for us.
If we examine the 2026 data from Wiser Review, the scope of the fraud is just staggering. They estimate that 30% of all online reviews are fake or inauthentic.
Wait, 30%? Like 1 in 3.
1 in 3.
If I read 3 reviews, I should assume 1 is completely fabricated by someone who has never even seen the front door of the restaurant.
Fabricated, financially incentivized, or procedurally generated by offshore reputation management agencies and bot networks.
That's insane.
Furthermore, this is not a static issue. Fake reviews are growing 12.1% faster than organic, real reviews.
It's accelerating.
Rapidly. But the statistic that truly destroys the 4.5-star filter habit is this. 46% of identified fake reviews are 5-star ratings.
Okay, I want to break down the mechanism of that because as a consumer, I always assumed platforms like Google had, sophisticated IP filters.
You think so?
Right. Like if 1,000 5-star reviews suddenly flood in from servers in another country, the algorithm should catch that immediately.
Yeah.
How are these reputation agencies actually bypassing the tech?
They are using incredibly sophisticated methods that mimic authentic human behavior. These offshore agencies do not just blast a Google business page all at once.
Okay.
They spin up thousands of distinct Google accounts. They utilize residential proxies, meaning the IP address appears to be a local residential Wi-Fi network in your specific city.
Oh, wow. So it
Yeah.
looks like it's coming from down the street.
Exactly. Then they age the accounts.
Age them. What does that mean?
The bots will browse local news sites, perhaps look at weather patterns in your zip code, and click on local hardware store listings for weeks to build a credible cookie profile.
That is terrifyingly smart.
It is. Only after establishing that localized digital footprint do they drop the 5-star review on your restaurant's page. The algorithm sees a local user with a history of local searches, and it flags the review as high trust.
So when I see a restaurant with a 4.8 average, that does not mean the food is undeniable.
Not at all.
It might simply mean the owner wrote a massive check to a very aggressive digital reputation agency with a highly sophisticated bot farm.
Yes. Or, at the very least, they are systematically incentivizing customers at the table.
Oh, I've seen that. Giving away free cocktails in exchange for an on-the-spot 5-star review before the guest even receives their entree.
Which completely skews the data pool. The macroeconomic impact of this behavior is catastrophic. Fake reviews are costing U.S. businesses nearly $152 billion annually.
$152 billion.
Billion. Because capital is being misallocated by deceived consumers.
Okay, I see the damage from the consumer side, but let me play devil's advocate here from the perspective of the operator.
Okay, go for it.
The FTC found that a business purchasing fake reviews can generate a 1,900% return on investment.
The ROI is crazy, yes.
Right. So if I am an independent restaurateur, my margins are hovering around, 4 to 6%. My rent is astronomical. I see my competitor across the street getting a 1,900% ROI from buying a bot farm to boost their Google rating.
And they are packed.
They are packed. And I am empty. Aren't I financially obligated to cheat just to survive? It feels like a nuclear arms race. If you refuse to buy the fake reviews, you default on your lease.
Look, I get it. The short-term unit economics of buying fake reviews are undeniably seductive. A 1,900% ROI is a lifeline when you are struggling to make payroll.
Exactly.
We see data indicating it can boost product sales by 12.5% in just the first 2 weeks of a campaign.
That's huge for a struggling spot.
It is. However, let us transition to the C-suite perspective and look at enterprise value.
Okay, the long game.
When a private equity firm looks to acquire a hospitality group, they are looking at the multiplier. They want predictable, recurring revenue from a loyal customer base.
Right.
If your top-line revenue is entirely dependent on a fabricated Google rating, constantly luring in first-time diners who never return because the actual food is mediocre.
You have zero true enterprise value.
Exactly. You have high churn and zero loyalty. The moment Google updates its algorithm and purges those fake reviews, your revenue goes to zero overnight.
That makes the distinction between operating for this week's cash register and building a 10-year brand. Incredibly clear.
It's a huge difference.
But the arms race you mentioned cuts both ways.
Yeah.
We cannot just talk about fake 5-star reviews without looking at the weaponization of the 1-star review.
Oh, 1-star nightmare.
Yes. Competitor sabotage and coordinated negative campaigns are just as prevalent.
A targeted review bombing can reduce a restaurant's revenue by 25% in a matter of days.
It's brutal.
But we don't even need to look at coordinated bot attacks. We need to examine the psychology of the 1-star Yelp nightmare that every single hotel, food and beverage director and restaurant manager knows intimately.
Oh, they feel it in their bones.
They really do. This is the phenomenon where a guest attempts to destroy a restaurant's digital reputation over incredibly minor, subjective non-issues.
The classic examples, like the table was too close to the bathroom.
Right.
Or the ambient lighting was too dim. Or my favorite, the music was too loud for my parents.
Let us trace the actual sequence of events for one of those scenarios. A guest sits at a table near the restroom. They are unhappy.
Sure.
But instead of engaging in the fundamental human contract of hospitality, simply raising their hand, asking for the floor manager, and requesting a table transfer, they sit in silence.
They say nothing.
They eat the entire meal, they pay the bill, they smile at the host on the way out.
Always the smile.
Then they go home, sit in their living room, and write a 1,000-word manifesto online attempting to permanently damage the livelihood of 50 employees because they did not like the floor plan.
It's wild when you phrase it like that.
Former restaurateur Benson Fisher pointed this out in Total Food Service. In 98% of these cases, the problem could have been solved in 60 seconds if the guests had just communicated.
It is an absolute refusal to participate in the hospitality exchange.
Exactly.
And because the signal-to-noise ratio on these platforms has collapsed under the weight of both the bot farms and these petty grievances, consumers have realized the text-based review system is a minefield.
It is totally compromised.
Which leads us to the grand migration. Over the last 5 to 8 years, the entire industry shifted its marketing budget away from Yelp and TripAdvisor and moved toward video.
The pivot to social.
Right. We moved toward food influencers on Instagram and TikTok.
The migration was inevitable, really. In the early to mid-2010s, early food bloggers offered something print critics could not.
Raw reactions.
Raw, unscripted, visceral reactions. It felt like a trusted recommendation from a friend. It democratized food criticism.
Until the agencies got involved. We have to dive into the influencer illusion because the line between genuine enthusiasm for a great meal and a paid contractual endorsement has completely evaporated.
It's gone.
We are now dealing with a multi-billion-dollar marketing machine.
The underlying economics dictate the behavior now. Today, influencers in major metropolitan markets command anywhere from $1,000 to $25,000 per sponsored post.
25 grand for a video.
Easily. And the compensation structures are incredibly murky. Often, they are uncontracted.
So how does it actually happen?
It might be a cash envelope handed over at the end of the night. It might be a highly orchestrated, fully comped tasting menu featuring premium spirits for the influencer and 5 of their friends.
Right.
It exists in a massive gray area of undisclosed public relations.
So let us do the math live, because if you're moving to the C-suite, you have to be able to justify the P&L of these marketing spends.
Let's do it.
An influencer's agent emails your restaurant. The influencer has 50,000 followers. They want a $5,000 fee for a dedicated video reel and 2 story posts.
Pretty standard pitch.
You look at their page, and the vanity metrics look amazing. Lots of likes, high engagement. But if you dissect that audience data, how many of those 50,000 followers actually live within a 10-mile radius of your venue?
Usually it is a single-digit percentage.
That's it?
That's it. The algorithm rewards broad, visually stimulating content, meaning an influencer based in Chicago might have a massive following in London, Sydney, and Los Angeles.
Which means if you pay that $5,000, you are essentially paying primetime television advertising rates to market your local neighborhood bistro to people on different continents who will physically never walk through your front door.
You are confusing global digital reach with local customer acquisition.
Wow.
But let us play out the hypothetical even further. Let us assume the influencer's video actually goes viral locally.
Okay, best case scenario.
Right. They bring in 200 tourists over the weekend because of the video. Those 200 tourists spend $50 a head. Your top-line revenue just spiked by $10,000.
So the operator feels like a genius. They doubled their money.
Until you apply standard hospitality unit economics. Always the math. From that $10,000, you must subtract a 32% food cost and a 35% labor cost.
So you were left with $3,300 in gross margin.
Exactly. Now subtract your overhead rent, utilities, linen, insurance, and you might have $500 in net profit.
But you paid the influencer $5,000.
So you actually lost $4,500 on the campaign.
Oh my God.
And worse, those 200 tourists have a 0% return rate. They came for the viral photo. They are never coming back.
Right, because they just wanted to say they were there.
Yes, your customer acquisition cost was astronomical, and the lifetime value of those guests is mathematically zero.
That is the exact trap. You are renting a fleeting audience at a catastrophic premium.
But, I mean, the financial hemorrhage is only phase one.
Oh, it gets worse.
The operational nightmare this culture has inflicted on the physical kitchen is arguably worse. We have to dissect the phenomenon of aesthetic baiting.
Aesthetic baiting is the practice of engineering the menu, the plating, and the physical architecture of the restaurant, specifically for the camera lens, rather than the human palate or the flow of service.
The industry is plagued with this. Because algorithm-driven food content yields massive engagement rates online, chefs and owners began designing dishes explicitly to go viral.
Yes.
We are talking about those towering milkshakes with an entire slice of funfetti cake and a sparkler balanced on the rim.
Terrible to eat. Awful. We are talking about injectable pasta syringes. We're talking about the dramatic, slow-motion, tableside cheese pull, where a waiter scrapes molten raclette over a burger in the middle of a crowded dining room.
It fundamentally alters the purpose of a restaurant.
It transforms the restaurant from a place of hospitality into a movie set.
Truly.
And the expediter in the kitchen stops being a culinary conductor and essentially becomes a film director managing lighting cues. Think about the operational friction. It shatters ticket tempos.
Let us trace the specific disruption of that tableside cheese pull.
Okay, set the scene.
The expediter has a 4-top table. 3 standard entrees are ready. The 4th is the viral cheese pull burger.
Right.
The expediter must hold those 3 hot entrees under a heat lamp, deteriorating their quality, while waiting for a front-of-house staff member to become available to perform a 2-minute theatrical presentation at the table.
Which means the server is not checking on their other 5 tables. Water glasses go empty.
New tables wait to order.
The entire dining room backs up.
Precisely. And consider what happens when the influencer is the one seated at that table receiving the food.
Oh, they don't eat it right away.
They do not consume the meal immediately. They spend 15 minutes adjusting their portable LED lighting.
Standing on chairs.
They stand on chairs to capture a bird's eye view. They request multiple takes of the cheese pull. By the time they actually sit down to taste the food, the thermal dynamics of the dish are ruined.
Disgusting.
The food is cold, the fats have congealed, the proteins are dry, and the emulsion of the sauces has broken.
And that deeply compromised, unpalatable version of the dish is what they are broadcasting to millions of people, claiming it is, the best bite in the city.
It is absolute madness.
It really is. You are sacrificing the integrity of the actual product for the digital image of the product.
Yeah.
And this friction has escalated far beyond financial frustration.
We have reached a cultural boiling point inside the industry.
We are witnessing a full-blown chef rebellion. If you dive into the discussions happening on the Repertoire YouTube channel, the raw anger from back-of-house professionals is palpable.
They are actively fighting back against this entitled digital behavior.
The power dynamics are shifting dramatically. For years, restaurants felt held hostage by influencers, fearing that a negative post would destroy their business.
Yes, the fear was very real.
But elite operators are realizing that capitulating to this culture is actually what destroys the core business. To understand this shift, we need to look at a highly publicized case study that encapsulates the breaking point, the JL Patisserie saga.
Oh, this is the perfect case study.
This happened in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah.
Walk us through the day-by-day timeline of this conflict.
So, JL Patisserie is a highly respected, quality-focused bakery known for traditional, labor-intensive French pastry.
Real deal stuff.
Absolutely. An influencer reached out to the bakery via direct message demanding a free collaboration meal.
Right.
This collaboration, as we discussed, is simply an undisclosed PR exchange. Free product for a favorable review.
So the owner of the bakery, Jenna Lurquin, responded, and her response was incredibly measured.
She respectfully declined. She explained that they are a small business relying on paying customers to support their staff, cover their ingredient costs, and maintain their operations.
Which is completely reasonable.
Well, she even invited the influencer to come in as a regular paying guest.
Which, if you are a C-suite executive, is the exact right, the only correct response to protect your working capital.
But the influencer did not accept that gracefully.
Of course not.
The influencer retaliated. She took to her platform and complained publicly to her audience about how poorly she felt she was treated by the bakery, attempting to weaponize her following against the small business.
But the strategy completely imploded.
It backfired spectacularly. The bakery posted a video exposing the entire interaction: the initial demand for free food, the polite refusal, and the subsequent retaliation.
I remember seeing this.
The public response was unprecedented. The bakery's video garnered over 8.5 million likes.
Wow.
The backlash against the influencer was so severe and immediate that she was forced to delete her account entirely.
It ripped the mask off the entire industry. It exposed the poorly kept secret that the vast majority of glowing influencer reviews you see on your feed are just pay-to-play PR.
Exactly. As independent food critic Kirsty Kimball pointed out when analyzing this case, it highlighted standard influencer practice: demanding free food, posting wildly positive reviews, and systematically failing to disclose to the public that the meal was comped.
Which is a direct violation of FTC guidelines regarding undisclosed sponsorships.
It is essentially an illegal, unregulated commercial.
And chefs have had enough.
Yeah.
On that Repertoire podcast discussion, they referenced Chris Silva. He's the operator behind a highly successful London restaurant called Dorian. He explicitly banned TikTok and Instagram influencers from his venue.
And he did not hold back.
No, he did not. He referred to them publicly as social scumbags. He went on a tirade on Instagram, telling them to stop flooding his inbox with proposals for free food while independent restaurants are collapsing on a daily basis.
Good for him.
He established a zero-tolerance policy. Any influencer asking for a freebie would be instantly blacklisted.
The raw nerve has definitely been struck, and this rebellion is moving beyond angry Instagram posts. It is manifesting in physical policy changes within elite dining rooms across the globe.
Like what? What are they actually doing?
We are seeing the widespread implementation of tripod bans.
Tripod bans, I love it.
Jeremy King, a legendary restaurateur in London, alongside many others at the top tier of hospitality, are cracking down aggressively.
They are confiscating ring lights at the host stand. They are forbidding guests from standing on chairs.
But I want to explore the nuance here, because The Independent published a fascinating debate on this recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They argued that banning the category of people saying no influencers allowed might be the wrong diagnostic approach.
Interesting. What's the right approach then?
Their argument is that a restaurant should not police a person's identity or profession. A guest is a guest.
Fair enough.
However, a restaurant is perfectly entitled and, in fact, obligated to ban the behavior. You do not ban the influencer, you ban the flash photography. You restrict the use of tripods. You intervene immediately when a guest's behavior infringes upon the experience of the table next to them.
It is about enforcing the social contract in the dining room. I want to bring in a quote from Ando Kazoshi, the elite Michelin-starred sushi chef, because it perfectly encapsulates the C-suite mindset required here.
He has a great philosophy.
He has a powerful philosophy regarding his physical space. He states, "Atmosphere is not decoration, it is discipline."
Atmosphere is not decoration, it is discipline.
Yeah.
If we unpack the operational reality of that statement, it means a transcendent dining experience does not happen by accident.
No, it doesn't.
It is not achieved by hanging a neon sign on a flower wall for Instagram selfies.
Definitely not.
It is achieved through a rigorously maintained environment. The ambient temperature, the acoustic baffling, the pacing of the courses, the posture of the staff, and the mutual respect demanded between guests. All of these elements must be carefully managed.
The dining room is a shared sacred sanctuary.
Exactly.
I want you to visualize this from the perspective of your core demographic. You have saved up for a special occasion. You are paying $300 for an anniversary meal at a highly regarded restaurant.
You're excited.
You are seated across from your partner, engaged in an intimate conversation. Suddenly, the foretop next to you sets up a literal production studio.
Oh, the worst.
They mount a blinding 3,000 lumen LED ring light. They're standing on their upholstered chairs, barking stage directions at each other and holding their entrees up in the air for 10 minutes while the food gets cold.
Your anniversary experience is completely shattered.
The core product of a restaurant is hospitality. and performative social media creation is inherently inhospitable to every other paying guest in the room.
It is the absolute antithesis of hospitality, and C-suite operators are running the numbers.
What are they finding?
They are realizing that by catering to the one influencer with a camera, they are permanently alienating the 50 regular, full-paying diners in the room who simply want to consume their meal in peace.
And those 50 paying diners, they're taking their money elsewhere. The entire economic model of algorithmic guiding is collapsing in real time, and we have to view this through the lens of macroeconomic reality.
They do.
Why is audience churn accelerating? Why is influencer fatigue hitting critical mass right now in 2026?
It comes down to economic friction. We are operating in an environment where a casual weeknight dinner for two easily tops $100.
Easy.
When dining out transitions from a routine low-risk convenience to a highly considered high-cost discretionary expense, the consumer's margin for error drops to absolute zero.
You cannot afford to waste your hard-earned discretionary income on a hyped-up, mediocre viral recommendation that turns out to be a massive disappointment.
Exactly. Economic friction accelerates consumer skepticism. The modern diner is no longer willing to risk $100 just because someone did a trendy dance with a taco on TikTok.
No one is buying it anymore.
As a result, they are migrating away from public algorithms entirely. We are witnessing a massive consumer shift toward what analysts call dark social.
Dark social. It sounds like a covert operative term, but it is actually the most organic form of marketing in existence.
It is.
How does a hospitality executive navigate dark social?
Well, dark social refers to the private, unquantifiable communication channels that operate completely outside the reach of algorithms, public ad platforms, and sponsored metrics.
Right.
It is where real, trusted discovery is happening today. We can break this migration down into 4 primary behaviors.
Let us explore the first behavior, because it is definitely the most ubiquitous.
The foundation of dark social is the private group chat.
Oh, yeah.
We are talking about iMessage, WhatsApp, Signal. It is a group of 4 friends swapping raw, unedited, poorly lit photos of a great meal with an honest verdict.
I just ate at this new bistro. The service was impeccable. You have to go.
Exactly. There is zero financial incentive in a private group chat. The trust is absolute.
Which is why a single text message in a group chat converts at a substantially higher rate than a $10,000 billboard or a targeted TikTok ad.
Precisely.
But group chats have a limited radius. You only have so many friends. So when consumers want broader advice, but they refuse to trust Yelp, where are they turning?
They are turning to niche newsletters, which is the second major behavior shift.
Okay, newsletters.
We are seeing a massive surge in Substack writers and independent localized critics. You mentioned Christy Kimball earlier, who writes a highly influential newsletter.
Yeah.
These writers operate on a 100% reader-funded model. They categorically refuse comped meals.
So they are paying full price.
They pay out of pocket, which means they feel the exact same financial pain of a bad, expensive meal that their readers do.
Consumers are suddenly willing to pay $5 a month for a newsletter subscription just to avoid the ad-bloated fake review minefield of public directories.
They are paying for aligned incentives.
They are paying for vetted expertise. What is the third behavior shift?
The third is industry-led discovery. Diners are becoming incredibly sophisticated. Instead of following a full-time content creator who has never worked a line or managed a pass in their life, they are following actual chefs, line cooks, sommeliers, and bartenders.
They are tracking where the industry eats.
They are using specialized apps and reading curated lists that track where culinary professionals actually spend their own money on their nights off.
It is the ultimate signal of quality.
It really is. If a chef who meticulously crafts 3-star Michelin food for a living chooses to eat at a specific late-night yakitori spot at 1 a.m., the consumer knows that yakitori spot is delivering exceptional quality.
That is the highest form of validation. And the final piece of this dark social puzzle.
Hyperlocal community boards.
Like Reddit?
Exactly. Think of highly specific, heavily moderated Reddit threads like Our Food NYC or RLA List. These platforms are gaining massive traction because they are aggressively policed by the community against self-promotion, astroturfing, and influencer spam.
Right.
If a digital PR agency tries to drop a fake review into one of these threads, the community dissects their post history and bans them immediately.
It relies on collective, localized consensus rather than top-down algorithmic promotion.
It is a return to traditional word of mouth, simply digitized in private spaces.
But intersecting with this dark social migration, we have to examine a counter-trend that is exploding on the public platforms themselves. De-influencing.
Oh, the de-influencing trend is a fascinating market correction. You have creators actively building massive loyal audiences by explicitly attacking the hype machine.
I have seen these videos.
Hi.
A creator will go to the viral restaurant of the week. They will order the $40 injectable donut or the cheese pull burger. They will film themselves eating it. And then they look directly into the camera and say, "This is a scam. It tastes like cardboard. The service was atrocious and the dining room was dirty. Save your money."
If we connect this to the macroeconomic picture, it makes perfect sense. The pendulum swung entirely toward manufactured, paid enthusiasm, and now it is violently swinging back toward raw accountability.
People want the truth.
Consumers are demanding utility. They want to know who is funding the message. The era of effortless viral stardom driven by endless sponsored posts is dying because the audience respect is entirely gone.
Okay, this brings us to the ultimate question, the most actionable part of our deep dive.
Let's hear it.
We have diagnosed the disease. We know the 4.5-star filter is a lie. We know influencers are alienating your actual paying guests and destroying your ticket tempos.
Yeah.
We know consumers are hiding in dark social where your traditional digital ads cannot reach them. If you are listening to this and you are an operator looking to transition to the C-suite, how do you rewrite your playbook?
How do you actually build enterprise value?
Yes. How do you adapt to this new reality?
The tactical shift requires a complete reprogramming of how you view marketing, capital allocation, and asset ownership. The first executive mandate is this: stop paying influencers for rented access to scattered global audiences.
Stop renting the audience.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You must understand the fundamental difference between purchasing an influencer post and investing in creator content.
What's the difference?
Paying an influencer $2,000 for a 24-hour Instagram story that vanishes the next day is a terrible allocation of working capital. You have nothing to show for it on your balance sheet.
Right.
Instead, hire a skilled creator, a professional videographer, or a food stylist to produce high-quality, narrative-driven content for the restaurant's own channels.
So you pay for their technical skill in lighting, editing, and storytelling. But your business retains ownership of the digital assets in perpetuity.
Exactly. You build your own engaged audience rather than renting a fleeting glimpse of someone else's.
That makes so much sense.
That is how you build a digital asset base. But the real secret weapon for building enterprise value isn't about acquiring new customers at all.
It's not.
It is about radically shifting your focus to the ones already sitting in your dining room.
Let us dive into the data on this because the numbers are staggering.
We need to look at analyst Marcus Tremer's data on hospitality economics. He found that increasing your customer retention rate by just 5% can boost your overall profitability by 25 to 95%.
We have to run the math on that. A 5% increase in retention, meaning just getting a tiny fraction more of your current customers to come back a second or third time, can nearly double your profit.
It sounds impossible, right?
How is the multiplier that massive?
It comes down to the staggering cost of customer acquisition. To get a new diner through the door, you have to spend on marketing, you have to offer promotional discounts, you have to fight the algorithm, and you often suffer operational inefficiencies as staff explain the menu to first-timers.
That makes sense.
Let us say your baseline profit margin is 8%, and you spend 15% of your gross revenue on marketing just to replace the customers you lose every month. If you retain those people, your marketing spend drops.
And that capital falls straight to the bottom line, doubling your profit.
Exactly.
So let us play this out operationally on the floor. Instead of spending a $2,000 monthly ad budget on one influencer post, hoping to lure in tourists from a different time zone,
What do you do instead?
what if a general manager took that exact same $2,000 budget and handed it directly to their floor staff?
Yes.
What if the servers and bartenders were empowered to just comp desserts, send out free rounds of premium drinks, or upgrade appetizers for the regulars who come in every Tuesday?
You have just perfectly described the analog method for hacking dark social.
Really?
Yes. If you want to penetrate private group chats, you cannot buy your way in. You have to earn your way in through exceptional, unexpected hospitality.
Wow.
By surprising and delighting your existing paying customers, you create genuine, unprompted emotional connections.
Think about the mechanism of that interaction. What if that regular do when they receive a complimentary dessert with a handwritten thank you note from the executive chef?
They take a picture.
They take a picture. They do not post it for the world. They send it to their private iMessage group chat. They tell their 10 local friends, "This place is incredible. We come here every week, and they treat us like absolute royalty."
That is authentic word-of-mouth marketing that an algorithm cannot filter, a bot farm cannot replicate, and a competitor across the street cannot buy.
It is so painfully obvious when you look at the P&L. Chasing 100 new Instagram followers who live in a different state, while simultaneously ignoring and losing 3 of your weekly local regulars because your service has slipped due to a tableside cheese pull.
It's crazy.
That is a recipe for bankruptcy. Followers look good on a vanity marketing report to investors. Regulars actually pay the commercial rent.
The true C-suite operator understands that brand prestige is entirely secondary to cash flow and working capital.
Absolutely.
You do not need a Michelin star if it inflates your labor cost by 18 points, requires you to hire 3 extra prep cooks, and ruins your margin.
No, you don't.
You do not need a viral line down the block if those people only buy one appetizer to share, take a photo, and never return. You need a highly disciplined dining room, exceptional unit economics, and a fiercely loyal local demographic.
Let us synthesize this. Let us bring this home for the listener. The era of the digital gatekeeper, the Yelp elite throwing their weight around, the TikTok mega influencer demanding free food, the pay-to-play digital PR agencies spitting up bot farms, that entire ecosystem is fracturing.
It is falling apart.
The power is migrating away from the algorithm. It is returning to the physical dining room. It is returning to the chefs who prioritize the rigorous discipline of their craft over the visual decoration of the plate.
Hear, hear.
And it is returning to the C-suite operators who ruthlessly protect their working capital and value repeat local guests over viral aesthetic baiting.
It is a profound return to fundamentals, but executed with a sharper, more analytical edge. And I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over as we look toward the horizon.
What?
We are entering an era where generative AI is going to absolutely flood the internet. Within the next few years, we will see entirely AI-generated reviews, AI-generated food photography that is indistinguishable from reality, and highly convincing synthetic video content.
Oh, man.
The digital landscape is going to become an ocean of algorithmic slop.
Which means consumer trust in anything they see online will drop to absolute zero. If everything can be faked, nothing digital has value.
Exactly. And in a world where everything digital can be simulated, physical hospitality will become the ultimate, irreplaceable luxury commodity.
That makes perfect sense.
The human element, the warmth of a greeting, the perfection of a perfectly timed hot meal served on a warm plate, the acoustic balance of a beautifully disciplined room, that is going to be your unassailable moat.
Wow.
An algorithm can never replicate the profound feeling of being genuinely cared for in a physical space. So the ultimate question you must ask yourself as a leader is this: how will you ensure your restaurant or hotel is selling a physical experience that AI can never simulate?
Boom. That is the question to take to your next board meeting. How do you make your operation algorithm-proof?
It's the only question that matters.
Before we sign off, I want to reiterate our massive appreciation for you, the listener. Thank you for joining us in this deep dive, for wanting to understand the mechanics beneath the surface.
It's been great.
And a massive thank you to the partners who make this level of C-suite analysis possible. If you want to scale your business, if you need to ensure the operational compliance that prevents those one-star nightmares before they happen, and build that unshakable foundation, you need to visit hrbuni.com.
They are the best.
HRB Universal is setting the benchmark for industry standards, giving you the tools to run a disciplined room. And if you are an entrepreneur looking for sustainable capital access, strategic mentorship, and a pathway to ownership that relies on real economics rather than viral hype, look into the Plate and Pour Collective Equity Partner Program.
Incredible program.
They are actively reshaping the leadership pipeline for tomorrow's hospitality moguls.
The resources to build sustainable enterprise value are there. The paradigm has officially shifted away from the hype. It is now entirely up to you to execute.
Make sure you don't miss our next deep dive. We are going to be tackling supply chain optimization and financial restructuring. Subscribe to us via Riverside, head over to FromKitchenToSuite.com, or check out the HRB TV Network.
Don't miss it.
If you've got Roku or Amazon Fire TV, search for HRB TV Network, and you can stream our executive series right from your living room. Keep pushing the boundaries, keep questioning the status quo, and transform that culinary passion into true C-suite leadership. Until next time, continue to innovate and strive for superior achievement.